Hi there, Amanda again. I wanted to create this video because when I was talking to other writers, I quickly realized that many professional writers don't know how to correctly leverage tools like ChatGPT and Google Gemini. And in the last few years, especially 2024 and 2025, more and more clients are looking for professional writing that is also AI assisted. And yes, you get clients who only want to use what AI spits out verbatim, which we've talked about in the past is usually very mediocre and it's not original content. But a majority of quality clients that you're working with, they'll be asking you, can you use these AI tools to speed up your work or make it even better? But then you run into the dilemma of you being a professional writer and you need to make sure that your writing is high quality. But at the same time, you also want to make sure you're making the most of your time and utilizing tools that can help. And obviously, if you are writing a piece of content, if you can create the same piece of high quality content faster and more easily, that would be maximizing your income as well. And your hourly rates skyrocket. So I've already trained some other writers about how to use AI for certain specific situations, but I wanted to share a video here about what I've been doing the past few years and how I'm leveraging AI while still making sure that it's high quality and professionally written. I usually use Gemini. I've also used ChatGPT, and I use the free version for my client work and whatever else I'm doing for my websites. There are paid versions, which maybe have a little bit more oomph to them, but currently I'm getting by just fine with the free version. So I'm just going to run through sort of my process of how I use AI to, say, create a piece of content. So what I'll do is in the beginning, a new project comes in or a new goal and say, I want to write a new blog post for my website, ambitiouswritersociety.com. So in Gemini, I would give it sort of an introductory prompt and I would say, I'm writing a blog post about the future of AI writing careers for a website called Ambitious Writer Society. And then I would include the URL because sometimes it can pull information and style and tone. You might run into some issues where it'll say, oh, I can't pull this, but it's always worth a try. So then I would put this in. And sometimes it starts creating something before I've even really given it a prompt. And sometimes people stop here and they would post this. This is where the mediocre content is, where you don't really give it a prompt and you don't add any extra oomph or flair to it or specificity. So I wouldn't use anything that it says. I'm not even going to read it. So then from there, I'd get more specific about what I'm looking for. So I'd give it a prompt, something like this, and it says, give me an outline for an article that is geared towards new and aspiring writers. So that's our target audience. These writers are worried about AI taking their jobs, and they're interested in finding ways to stay relevant to clients. One good thing is that most clients understand that using large language models and AI outputs verbatim is not good enough for their needs, so they understand that they still need professional writers. So here we're talking about who the target audience is. We're talking about some pains and gains that this target audience is facing and why they might want to read this piece of content. So I definitely would add about the target audience and sort of give context for the AI tool. So now it starts to develop with the title and the different sections of the outline. This still can be pretty general. So then I would spell out a few more things, definitely about the pain points that the target audience is facing, as well as what they would be gaining by reading this specific article, because we want to have a unique perspective. So I'm already thinking about what the unique perspective is. I'm not looking for AI to generate it for me. So I would say some pains these writers are facing would be fear of the future of AI, recent loss of work due to some clients using AI instead of their services, wanting to use AI tools but not really sure how. I'm not just going to AI looking for ideas. I'm already creating my own kind of perspective and outline, even if I'm not writing it yet myself and I'm using the tool to write it. Some gains to reading this article. writers will be reassured that high quality contents may want AI assisted writing, but they still value writers. Another benefit would be getting basic tips by using AI tools. And another tip or another benefit would be how to promote themselves as a professional writer who leverages AI. So I'll have it build this out since we've added some specificity here. So some of the title options are getting a little better. AI does have a signature language, which we've talked about before. Most of the stuff that it's going to spit out, especially like the titles and the headlines and the H2s and the H3s, I'm going to be rewriting myself, but it's at least giving me an idea about the topic and how to kind of format it. The shifting sands, I mean, that's just so like cliche and just way more creative than what I want. Usually the brand tone for Ambitious Writer Society is more of a mentorship style, more straightforward, more actionable. So I would never say something like the shifting sands. I would just create something that's a little bit more direct. So let's say, we've looked at the outline, we pick and choose what we want. From here, I would actually copy and paste this outline and put it in a Word document, and then I would delete or add sections or revise sections so that it's covering exactly what I want, and it's fine-tuned by me. So let's say in section 5 here, we're like, okay, this is good. Now I want AI to build it out, as in create the actual paragraphs and the writing. I would say build out section 5 of the blog post. So build out, we'll do section 5 instead. Build out section V5 of this outline. And I would add a little bit more details about the tone, and say I did SEO keyword research, I would put in what keyword I want. So the tone, so build out section 5 of this outline. The tone should be professional, yet approachable, like a trusted mentor. Use the SEO keyword in quotations, SEI assisted writing, at least once in this section. So let's see if it can do it this way. So here it builds out a little bit more of what it originally outlined. So usually AI does not do well with headlines and H2s and H3s, so that I automatically would revise. Sometimes it has the signature AI language that I don't like, so I might highlight a specific thing and say, like, revise this sentence, because I definitely don't like navigating the AI landscape. That is just icky signature AI. I'd say revise this sentence. Many clients are still navigating the AI landscape. Make it more direct, make it more punchy. I'd give it a little bit more information about what I'm looking for instead. Or I'd say, talk about the delicate dilemma of working with a client who wants AI writing, but also needing to ensure the writing is high quality. I would add, I'd have to like think about what I really wanted to say. I'm not just letting it decide for me, letting the AI tool decide for me. So I'd say revise this sentence. So then it would pull and it would say, okay, here's, something else. And then we'd look at what it comes up with. These AI tools need you to spell out what you want from them verbatim, and they can't really come up with unique perspectives or experiences. Using AI tools is by no means faster, because I spend a lot of time putting in the prompts. And usually if you spend a lot of time up front putting in the prompts, being really detailed with your prompts, revising a few times what it comes up with, then you can, once you've really worked it through in the AI tool, then you really can usually copy and paste, and it usually gives you something pretty good. But that being said, I'm always, when I'm looking at the final draft, I usually will go in and change sentences to make it more interesting or make it have better rhythm or use shorter sentences or be more direct or be more powerful. This is just kind of a general overview of how I use AI tools and what I've been doing with clients over the last few years. So I hope that this helps.